self-limiting beliefs and to get rid of them actually, as well as to help us learn how to stop self-sabotaging ourselves in our businesses. So I'm going to welcome up, please help me welcome up our Chief Igniter, Kary Oberbrunner.
Awesome. Fantastic. It's great to be with you guys today. Look, we're going to share this live stream. We just restarted it, so we're going to share it again. Fantastic. If you guys can log into the Facebook page, Kary Oberbrunner author, and we're going to have a big party today, so go ahead and share it if you don't mind. We are talking today about how to stop sabotaging your success once and for all. How many feel like you came into the right room? Anybody? All right. Anybody on this side? You guys come in the right room? Okay. Listen, this is a very important topic. This topic is much more important than software. This topic is much more important than apps. This is what really will move the needle in your business. Because the biggest obstacle for your business is what? Anybody? Yourself. I mean, that is humbling. Isn't that humbling to look in the mirror and say in the morning, I'm my biggest obstacle. I'm the reason why I'm not getting more influence, more impact, and more income. And yet so many people don't want to admit that. And that's part of the problem. So many people are scared to say, you know what, it's not Trump or Clinton or Korea or suicides that are happening today. So many times we abdicate our success for other outside circumstances. And that's what creates a feeling of powerlessness. Do you guys ever see that on Facebook? You look at people and you can just tell based on their Facebook feed that they are living a life of powerlessness. Is this true? By the way, Erica, do we have people online? I know we restarted. I'd love for people to tell where they're from online. We'd love to give you a greeting and a hello. Here's one example of what I saw as a Facebook feed. By the way, you don't want to friend me because I analyze you, okay? No, I'm kidding. That was a joke. You can friend me on Facebook. But what I do is I analyze people just by nature. One person the other day said, real loud in their Facebook, why is entrepreneurship so hard? I just made my first 400, but I have 10 more bills to pay, and now I'm wondering how other entrepreneurs do it. Now listen, that's a great cry for help. Except what's the problem with it? Who do you think are her future clients? Did you see that? Did you see the subtle thing? She's not showing up filled up on social media. She's basically saying, why do I stink as an entrepreneur and why aren't I making more money? And then her next post is, who wants to do business with me? You guys see this? That is, I wanted to respond, but I chose not to because it's just not worth it sometimes. She's not a client, and it was just a random person that showed up on my Facebook feed. But what she doesn't realize is that she's actually pushing success away from her with her social media update status. Are you doing the same thing? That's a good question. We're going to talk about this today. All right, here's the 3 things you're going to discover. Good to see you, Rick. Awesome. Back from travels. I love it. You're going to discover why you'll never outperform your own self-image. You can't. You cannot outperform your own self-image for any length of time. Do you know why? Do you know why? Because you don't get what you want in life, you get who you are. You don't get what you want in life, you get who you are. And some of us are saying, well, gee, my self-image is low. Don't worry, there's hope for you. Because I used to be the guy, no joke, you'll hear my story in a little bit. I used to be the guy that had so much self-hatred, such low self-esteem that I would actually self-injure, and I fell into depression and almost suicide. So listen, if I can get out of it, you can too. Is that true? So is there anybody here who says they have an accurate self-image of what the Creator thinks of them? 100%. Does anybody say yes? Okay, I didn't see anybody say yes. Oh, I saw so-so. All right, awesome. We got a couple so-sos. That's good. Well, we're going to talk about how you can leverage this in a good way. We're going to talk about one powerful tweak that will increase your clients and your cash flow. Would that be helpful for you? One little tweak. Sometimes that's all it takes. One tweak to get massive results. Number 3, we're going to talk about a 3-step process to stop sabotaging your success once and for all. Is that helpful? You guys ready? So that's what you're going to get, and that's what you're going to walk away with today. We do have a gift. We have a gift for everybody. It's a flash bonus at the end. We're going to talk about it. We're going to share it. David just created it. It's fantastic. If you guys can share the post, that would be awesome. Our goal is to ignite 1 million souls by 2020. We will nail it by October. We are on track. We're on track. So if you guys could share this today, that would be great. Tag somebody who needs to learn about self-image and resetting their self-image success point. My name's Kary Oberbrunner. It's great to be with you guys if you don't know who I am. And my passion is to ignite souls. That's why God put me on the planet. I love it when people become souls on fire. I want to give a shout out to Sherry, who drove 7 hours to be here today. Let's give Sherry, stayed overnight with Kathy. So good job for Kathy. We'll give Kathy a shout out in the notes. Also, hey, welcome. Also, you guys drove 2 hours. Let's give them a hand. 2-hour drive. Yeah, awesome. Fantastic. Awesome. We got seats everywhere. Go ahead. Brian, can you just throw my briefcase on the ground? It does not matter. Go for it. I don't care. Thank you. We're filling up. Great to be with you guys today. Is that Gurdev? Yeah. Awesome. Great to see you. And your friend?
I'm John.
Hey, John. All right. You just met each other. All right. Good. John's here. John. All right. Well, listen, great to be with you guys today. As I mentioned, this is the first thing we're going to talk about. You ready? Get your pens ready. Get your notes ready. If you're on Facebook, go ahead, type in if you struggle with self-image. We're going to talk about that today. All right? Listen, how many of you realize that you're either a thermometer or a thermostat? Do you know that? You woke up today either a thermometer or a thermostat. What do I mean by that? A thermometer says, here's the reflection of the environment around me. If you want to be a successful person, you should not be a thermometer. A thermometer just simply says, oh, here's all the CNN, constant negative news, that's what it stands for, of what I heard today. CNN, right? And you talk with people, and people just broadcast the frequency that they've been dialed into. So here's the interesting thing. If you want to pick up on successful people you should partner with, listen to their frequency in the line, on the phone. Listen for cues, listen for frequency, and you will know what they're feeding their brain. And we know that thoughts become what? Ideas. Ideas become habits, right? Habits become lifestyles. So if you want a big cue on what people are going to be broadcasting in the results 10 years from now, simply listen to what they're feeding themselves. Listen to the way they talk about things. And you will soon discover if this is a successful person or a non-successful person. Now, some people, I went online and, Martin Luther King actually talked about thermostats and thermometers. But listen, the reality is, here's the little secret nobody knows about. Everybody's a thermostat. Do you know that? Everybody's actually a thermostat. Some of you walked in the room set at a 2 on a 10-point scale. Some of you walked in the room just above dirt. You think about yourself. Now, you don't tell people that. You don't, hi, my name's Kary, I'm dirt. Okay, good to see you. No, you don't say that. But what you do is you wear a mask. It's called the Imposter Syndrome. So what you do is you feel like a 2, you feel like a 1, but you pretend and overcompensate. Who wants to share what is one way people overcompensate with a low self-esteem? What do you think they do? Anybody? Go ahead.
Talk a lot.
Doubt. They talk a lot.
Yes.
Okay. They just talk a lot.
Yeah.
Just keep talking. Okay.
Drive a fancy car.
They drive a fancy car. So some people, not everyone, but some people might hide behind possessions because of low self-esteem. Everybody who drives a fancy car?
Yeah.
No, just some people. Okay. What else? You ever meet someone who's, Becky.
Well, just kind of fade into the woodwork, hide their life.
They hide back, they step back, they hide. By the way, are you ever going to be successful if you run from the stage of life? I'm not talking about the stage. But I'm talking about if you run from the stage or the spotlight of life and you run back because of fear of being exposed, do you think you're going to be successful? Now, I'm not talking about Mother Teresa hide behind because you're serving, but I'm saying fearful. If you are fearful of getting exposed, do you think you're going to be successful? You're going to subconsciously sabotage yourself so you're not on the stage. What else? What's another way people overcompensate? What about pride? You ever meet someone who's like the most prideful, arrogant, they always talk about themselves and their talents? What's usually the case? Insecurity. Or someone who attacks. Oh man, they attack everybody. Lash out. Everyone else is the problem. Why are they doing that? Because where is the focus not then? On them. You see? So what I'm saying today is you are a thermostat. My question is, what are you set at? You catch that? So first of all, we said don't be a thermometer, someone who just broadcasts the current environment that you're in. That's not good. Like Martin Luther King Jr., let's be a thermostat. But the reality is you already are a thermostat. So now what is your set point? We call this your self-image set point. Your self-image set point. Cornel West said you got to be a thermostat rather than a thermometer. A thermostat shapes the climate of opinion. A thermometer just reflects it. Okay? So I want you to write on a piece of paper privately or text in your phone. I'm not going to ask you to share. I don't care what your number is, but I want you to be honest. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, just above making it today, 10 being, you know what, I am fully confident and competent, and I have clarity. That's a 10. Write down your number, and no one's going to know. Or even pop it in your head, and I can't read thoughts yet, okay? Yet. Does anybody, did everybody do that? Just write that down. Okay, write that down, think about it. You got it? Just give me a nod. I'm not going to call on you. Okay, cool. What do you do with a thermostat? A thermostat, let's face it, folks. If a thermostat is 72 and we start blasting heat in here, what's going to happen in the room? What's going to happen? But if we blast in heat in here, like from a flamethrower, what's the room going to do if it's set at 72? It's going to start going cold, right? What happens if we bust out the winter and we let the winter in? What's going to happen? Heat comes on. It always works hard to retain equilibrium. Now check this out. This is crazy stuff. I'm going to give you some illustrations. I'm going to show my flaws today in some big ways, okay? It involves an Apple Watch, all right? Just saying, okay? You do the same thing in your life. You do the exact same thing in your life. If you see yourself as a 6 and someone comes up to you and gives you a 9-level compliment, what do? Renee, I'm going to pick on you. What does the average person do if they feel like a 6 and someone comes up to them and gives them a genuine 9-level compliment? What do?
They deflect it or they put it down.
Did you catch that? You catch that? They deflect it. And how would we deflect it? Rick, I love your shirt today. Your shirt is fantastic. That's amazing.
Oh, it's just an old rag.
It's just an old rag. Now, now check that out. What do I feel like if I gave him that sincere compliment? And he just said it's just an old rag.
You don't know what a good shirt is.
Yeah. See what's interesting? Hurt people hurt people. Maybe that's profound. Maybe you heard that when you were 5. Hurt people hurt people. He didn't try to hurt me, but if I give him a sincere compliment and he's like, dude, it's an old rag, he now feels okay because he's at equilibrium. What about me? It's a put down. Do you think he's going to attract success? Do you think I'm going to come up to him next time and say, I like your shoes? What's he going to say now?
Just old holy things.
Just old. You see what I'm saying? Guys, this is so subtle, but once your mind's open to it, you'll suddenly realize this is everywhere. Let's keep going. We don't see things the way they are, but the way we are. Annis Nin, love this quote. That means that if I have my glasses in the front row, if I wake up seeing myself as a 2, and I put those 2 glasses on every day, do you realize that I'm going to filter everyone else's interaction with me negatively? Do you catch that? The person who sees themselves as a 2 and steps up on stage and trips and falls like this, immediately what goes on in their head? I'm an idiot. These people are laughing at me. I'm such a fool. Now I can't, talk about whatever, my coaching program. You see what happens? What happens if a 10 trips on the stage? Boom. What goes through their mind?
They'll laugh or totally turn it into a positive.
Yeah. Or they'll say, somebody didn't screw down the stage. It wasn't my fault. That stage must have a little bump. You see the difference? But you interpret everything based upon your self-image set point. This is why it is so important. Even down, we have a health coach in the front row, even down to food. Even down to food. If you see yourself as a 2, do you think you're going to want to exercise or eat right? In fact, you probably are going to choose to outwardly project how you feel inside, right? Let's keep rolling here. You guys see this sign on social media yet? Have you seen this? Check this out. What does it say?
You matter.
It says, you matter, don't give up. Is that really what it says?
Depends on how you read.
Oh. See, when I read this, I was like, you matter, don't give up. I'm like, yeah, that's good.
But
Hopefully no one reads it from left to right. You don't matter, give up. Ouch. You see that? You see how it's the same sign, it's a different self-image set point. One person looks at this and says, see, I knew I should kill myself today. Right? I mean, let's be honest. I know we're a week late, but you saw what happened last week, right? And we had people rise up and say, hey, 22 vets kill themselves every day. I mean, we live in an epidemic where now suicide is one of the highest causes for death. People destroying themselves. Do you think today's topic is relevant? Anybody? Do you think so? You think this is why I'm a little bit passionate to talk today about self-image set point and sabotaging success? Because it literally could change someone's life because they wake up and they say, I matter. Don't give up. Awesome. Thank you. It's a sign from God, All right, let's keep rolling. You guys want some signs on how to know what your self-image set point is? Would that be helpful? All right, you ready? Here we go. Number 1, here's a question to ask yourself. How do you view yourself? If you want to know your self-image set point, you gotta say, how do I view myself? And I'm gonna give you a few tests how you can view yourself, okay? Awesome. Erica, we got any people out of state today popping in? Yeah?
Massachusetts, Canada,
Massachusetts, Canada, fantastic.
Arizona, Texas.
Love it. All right, welcome guys. Great to have you with us today. We're gonna fix the mic for next time. Okay, I bought a microphone. Hey, I gotta call my buddy David Samuel. He'll figure it out, okay? But how do I view myself? So, here's my story. I've never shared this publicly because it's embarrassing. But how are you gonna grow? Don't my embarrassments help you? Come on, let's be honest.
Yes.
If I just stand up and say, here's how to be successful, you're going to be like, yeah, but what about that Apple Watch, right? All right, so here's the first time I'm ever sharing this story, okay? So my wife loves me, I'm very glad. When Father's Day happened years ago, when the Apple Watches first came out, right? It's Father's Day. And I think I'm going to get like a little shirt or something. I come down and she buys me an Apple Watch. But not only like an Apple Watch, but the high-end model Apple Watch. Like the stainless steel, like the expensive one. And immediately, several years ago, I was definitely still working through this issue in the area of gifts. Okay, I'm just being real with you guys. And so immediately, What went through my head? What do you think?
I
I don't deserve it?
can't wear this.
I can't wear this?
Too expensive.
Too expensive? What you think I said, what will other people think? Ooh, I said that one. What are other people going to think? Now some people might be like, cool, what are other people going to think? I'm like, well, gee, what are other people going to think? You know? So what do you think I did? I hid it? No, that would have been smarter. What do you think I did? I took it back. I took it back. Oh, so people are shrugging their heads. See, I'm sharing my stuff. And I got the cheaper model because I justified it because I'm a sporty guy and I needed a different band and I would probably bump it and crack it. We tell ourselves all kinds of stories, don't we? Well, it's too expensive. I mean, I might be working out and, bump it and crack it, Whatever. The truth is, I didn't think I was worth it. Straight up. Didn't think I was worth it. Didn't want people to look at me differently. Apple's had just come out, the Apple Watch, and now I have the high-end model. Okay, so I took it back. Now, I have other stories here, so that's not the end of the story, all right? But I'll keep going, all right? You ready? Is that helpful, though, so far? That you can look at me and say, hey, this dude doesn't have it all figured out. This dude, struggled with a gift, okay? Ever have this situation? I used Rick as the shirt example, but have you ever used this example? Somebody gets you a nice shirt or somebody, and you say, oh, I got it on sale. Okay, what did that do for anything? Hey, I really like your shirt or your suit. Hey, oh, it was a great sale. I got it on sale. Why do we do that? Why do we do that? Somebody tell me, why do we do that? Not, hey, thank you so much, your opinion really matters. Focused on the person. Who are we focused on when we say, oh, it was just a sale? Who are we focused on? On ourselves and our lack of competence. Folks, you will not get business clients when you are focused on yourself for how good you are or for how bad you are. That's a tweet. Joel's not here. That's a tweet. All right? You will not get business clients by focusing on yourself for either how good you are or how bad you are. You got that? Someone should just say, thank you. Practice that next time. Next time somebody gives you a sincere compliment, I want you to say, thank you, your opinion really matters to me and I appreciate that compliment. Give them back mutual grace, okay?
But it was a really good deal.
But I hear this all the time. Dow, what do you got?
What about complimenting the giver? For example, if you kept your watch and someone said, yeah, my wife loves me, she got this for me. And
I love it. I love it.
But now you're not only are you saying it's great, but
Yeah.
you're saying, but I didn't do it.
I love it. I think it's great. I don't know motivations,
Right.
but you would need to do that self-work, that soul work of saying, well, why? Am I valued for my spouse? Or, this type of thing. So yeah, only the person knows exactly. Other people, they get a car, maybe a car is handed to them, maybe a car is something they bought because they have been saving up. They deserve it. They've been having success. But same thing. You get one person who brags to everybody, because they're scared, they're inferior. You got another person who kind of parks it 3 blocks down the road because they're like, well, hey, Isn't that interesting, though? But there's this delicate balance of owning it and enjoying it, right? Is it wrong to enjoy good things? Anybody?
No.
Many times I'm just going to be real, many times it's the poor people. I grew up as a poor person. I'm going to be honest with you. I grew up as a poor person. We were kicked out one year on Christmas Eve. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even joking. One time our family couldn't afford a meal. My parents said, hop in the car. We hit a pheasant, and my dad said, the Lord provided dinner. Put it in the back seat of the car. Now, do you think that I had to work through financial issues to now be with David and have a 7-figure global business that's growing double almost every year. Do you think I had to work through some of this stuff? Absolutely. That's why I'm sharing this with you guys today, because this was a major block for me. I didn't know why I was not successful, but I knew I was doing something. I had some twisted views of money or wealth or success, and I had to work through a lot of those issues. Okay? Isn't it interesting that many times the people who don't have money are the ones that are most focused on money? Did you catch that? Who's the villain in every movie? Is it the rich guy or the poor guy? Do you catch this? The movies that we love so much and growing up as kids, the villain is always the rich guy or the rich lady. So what do you think you are subconsciously doing as you go through life? Anybody, what do you think? Are you trying to not be that person? Yeah. So you have this thing which says, I know I got to provide, I know I got to be an entrepreneur, I know I got to make it, but I also know that the love of money is the root of all evil. You can be filthy rich. Villains are rich people. I don't want to be like those people. And so now you are in this civil war. Is this true? Mm-hmm. All right. So you guys want answers?
Yes.
All right. How do you view your time? This is another sign that you struggle with a low self-image set point. How do you view your time? Now, I had a very low view of my time for a lot of years. Why do you think? Well, M. Scott Peck. This is his quote. M. Scott Peck. It's a great quote. Until you value yourself, you won't value your time. Until you value your time, you won't do anything with it. Did you catch that? Is that hitting anybody? That's hitting some people? Look, I love to help. Acts of kindness is one of my love languages. So I'm not talking about being some hateful person who doesn't have time for anybody. I'm not talking about that. But I'm just talking about, how do you spend your time? How do you spend your time? We're going to give you some success tips here in just a moment, but right now I just wanted to talk about it. Right now I just wanted to say, hey, do you struggle with this? All right, number 3, here we go. How do you view other people? I want you to seriously think about how you view other people. How do you view other people? Because this is a big indicator of how you view yourself. Let me say it again. How you view other people is a massive indication on how you view yourself. My favorite book, my favorite teacher, what does he say? Love your neighbor as yourself. Do you think when I was self-injuring that I was obeying that command?
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. I was not murdering other people and, assaulting other people. But that's what was messed up. You see, I went online and just typed in the word, people suck. It was interesting what I found, okay? People suck, end of story. There's actually a people suck movement. And here's what's crazy. Who's coming up with those statements? Dogs? Are dogs creating the people suck movement? So people, I get it, it's funny. I get it, it's quotes. I get, people are saying about themselves what? That they don't value themselves. Now there is cats, because people suck. Okay, there is the cat movement out there. That they don't like people and they only like cats. And there is the dog movement out there. So whether you like dogs or cats, there's a whole society out there, and it's funny, but it is a underlying view. Just the other day, someone kept showing up in my Facebook feed, and I'm like, why is this person so negative, and why are they showing up on my Facebook feed? Everything is a problem. Taking pictures of the people who are supposed to help their house, like the people who messed up are going to see that on their Facebook wall, And then next it's, her drink wasn't hot enough, and next it's this, and next it's that. Finally, I'm like, thank you, Facebook, for creating snooze. You guys know Facebook has snooze? Where if someone's just annoying you, you can hit snooze and they never show up for 30 days. That's exciting. Isn't that exciting? Because this lady, she doesn't realize it, but she's actually broadcasting unsuccess. Why would anyone want to help this lady? They may be on Facebook with their picture about how they didn't do a good job. You see what I'm saying? You need to really ask yourself what your view of other people is. I did not value people for a lot of years. Why do you think? Because I was one of them. You catch that? If you don't value other people, you got to look in the mirror and say, you know what, maybe it's because I don't value myself. Just maybe. All right, you ready for some answers? All right, I made this up. Get ready. This is going to be hot. You ready? It's called the self-sabotage cycle. You ready? Here it is. Number 1. It starts with, I don't value myself. That's the imprint on your brain that, again, I'm not saying you say you're a 2. I'm not saying you walk around in life and say, hey, I have low self-esteem. But I'm saying if you have an imprint on your brain that says, I don't value myself, here's what you naturally say about yourself as a business person, as an author, as a speaker, as a coach. I don't value what I can do for other people. You see that? If you don't value yourself, you're not going to value what you can do for other people. Now there's a gap. At this point, there's a gap. Because now you want money from people, but you haven't given them any value, and we call that theft. You catch that? You see that? All money earned ethically is an exchange of value. But if you don't think you value, if you don't think you have any value, why would people hire you and pay you when you can't bring them value? Do you see this? So then what happens? You say, you know what? People don't pay me what I'm worth. That's the victim that comes out. And then what happens? Nobody's paying me what I'm worth. See? I don't have any value. And some people are stuck in this cycle. Let's be honest. Is this true? I call this the self-sabotage cycle. Is this true? Anybody? Amen? All right. I don't value myself. Therefore, I don't value what I can do for others. Therefore, people don't pay me what I'm worth. And therefore, boom. See? It's self-evident. I don't have any value. And you're stuck in that cycle. Now, it's a lie. It's a lie from the enemy of your soul who woke up today and said, how can I steal, kill, and destroy you? Because I know that you were created in God's image. You do have worth. But now we got to talk about how to change that. All right, so number 1, why are we not, I'm going to quiz you. Why will we never outperform our own self-image? Any ideas? Quick thoughts. I'm not asking for a perfect definition. But why will we never outperform our own self-image? Anybody, what do you think?
We work hard to sustain it.
We work hard to sustain what's inside that number. Absolutely. I love it. Anybody else want to add to that? Pretty good?
We surround ourselves with other people who maintain that.
Interesting. Interesting. You ever meet a great friend, guy or girl, and they are always dating people who are toxic. And they're so nice. You know, your friend's so nice, your friend has so much to offer, but they are always dating people that are, we say, below them, right? Or this type of thing. Why is that? Anybody?
I don't think they're worth it.
They don't think they're worth it. They don't think they're worth it. Because if they had somebody who valued them, it would make them uncomfortable. You know why? Because they're not in control anymore. You see that? At least when I know that I'm beneath somebody, I have control and familiarity. But if somebody actually treats me for what I'm worth, I'm no longer in control. And I don't know what they're going to do. They may hurt me. So I'd rather take the prison that I know than the palace that I don't know. You see that? All right. Here we go. You ready for the powerful tweak? Ready for the powerful tweak? Who wants it? Anybody? Powerful tweak. Here we go. How's the live stream going? People are hanging? Awesome. I love to hear what you guys think so far. Do you struggle with this? You know, is this, what's your biggest takeaway so far? Love to hear that. Go ahead, share that. I always go back afterwards and check out how people are engaged, where they're from. Love to hear a little bit about you. Remember, we're talking about how to stop sabotaging success once and for all. Here's the problem. Most people think success is a destination. Most people think success is something they achieve. It's not. I'm gonna show you this tweak here in a moment. Here's me. I used to have hair. All right? You see that? I used to have hair, a little bit of hair. You think I look like a happy dude? I mean, there's the joy of the Lord in that smile, right? I mean, this dude's happy, right? No. I mean, I'm probably listening to Smashing Pumpkins at this point in my life, Nirvana, you know, I don't know, a girl probably dumped me or whatever, struggling with, you know, my wrestling career. But here's the point. I was stuck. I was absolutely stuck with these types of thoughts. That's why when last week we had several suicides, you know, I didn't change one thing I was doing. Now listen, if you posted about suicide in Hotline, good for you. Seriously, good for you. But you know what? I didn't change one thing in our business. Do you know why? Because every day, it's my passion to ignite souls. You see that? Not because some celebrity killed themselves, I'm like, ooh, I better get serious about helping the world. Every single day, David and I wake up and say, how can we ignite souls? Because people who are souls on fire don't experience those things. That's why I'm so passionate about this topic. Here's what Jim Rohn says. Jim Rohn, a father in the personal growth industry. Success is something you attract by the person you become. Success is something you attract by the person you become. I used to think growing up that there were successful people who were born from successful families that had successful privileges, that had successful schooling, blah, 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 right? We've all heard that narrative, that there are the successful people and then there's the rest of us. Well, guess what? Everyone I hang with is the rest of us. And there's a lot of them who are successful. And we're going to talk about that in a moment. But what has to change is what's in between here. That's what has to change. That's what has to change first. Success is, here's what I say. This is my own version. Success is not something you achieve. Success is someone you become. Okay? That's what I say. Success is not something you achieve, this external thing that you show up and, ooh, there's success. Success is who you become. That's who you become. And then guess what happens? More success comes. Do you catch that? That's what's unfair. It's almost cheating. It really is. Once you start experiencing success, it attracts more success. And I'm not talking about the law of attraction where you sit in a room and say, hey, money's going to come down through the heating vents, and then it starts coming down. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how do you show up at the line at Kroger compared to everybody else? Do you greet people? I did a video the other day on The Daily Show where I talk about my 8-year-old, my 10-year-old, and my 12-year-old, and it was a big reward day, so I took them to Starbucks because they're into Frappuccinos, vanilla bean. Okay, I don't know why. My son would have one every day of the year if he could have one, all right? So I show up, and there's a guy, and the kids are all excited, and I say, how are you doing today? You know, because this was like their treat for the day. And he's like, well, I'm here. And I was like, whoa. All right. And then I tried to engage him some more. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I go to my 8-year-old after we get our vanilla bean. I didn't say, that guy's a jerk, isn't he, kids? I didn't say that. But I said, I pulled him aside and I said, hey, Addison, do you think that guy's happy or do you think that guy's sad? 8-year-old. Again, it's one of my blessings and curses to be a speaker because every time I'm giving a seminar, okay? So I'm giving a seminar to my kids, they just don't know it. So the 8-year-old says, he seems really sad. Do you think that guy's in line for promotion? Anybody? Do you think he's in line for promotion? No. I would say he's going to stay at his current level of success until something changes. Until he changes. Did you catch that? All right, that was the tweak. The tweak was I stopped thinking success was something I need to achieve, and I started to realize that success is about who I am. About who I am. Does this make sense? All right, let's jump now into the third and final part of the talk today. A 3-step process to stop sabotaging your success once and for all. You ready? You guys ready for the 3 steps? All right, here we go. Number 1, I changed the way I viewed myself. Literally, I stopped identifying myself based upon my struggles. Look, I get it. There's people in the room, no doubt. I'm not calling out anybody, but there's probably people in the room that struggle with OCD. There's people that probably struggle with ADHD. There's people that probably struggle with depression. Okay? Last time I checked, everybody struggles with something. Okay? I did 30 hours of grad school in counseling. Enough to know I never should be a counselor. Okay? All right, I'm serious. They said, you probably shouldn't be a counselor. Okay? Because I was like, hey, let's focus on the future. Let's go. And this is all about the past. Here's what I know after 30 hours of grad school counseling. Everybody has a DSM-4 diagnosis. Everybody. Okay, they just created one called DSM-5 now. See, that shows how old I am. All right? All right, so back 18 years ago, it was DSM-4. Now it's DSM-5. They added internet addiction. I think we're all internet addicts, okay? So now everybody can say I'm in the DSM-5. Here's my point. How long are you going to let that stop you? How long are you going to let some diagnosis that some doctor gave you be the ceiling of the success in your life? Diana Nyad, 64 years old, swims 110 miles with shark-infested waters at 64. We live in a society today that people are not caring about the ceilings that people have put in previous generations. You got 12-year-olds who are making 7 figures on YouTube. You see what I'm saying? Who cares anymore? I mean, we literally live in a world right now where all the diagnoses have been broken. Nick Vujicic, no arms, no legs. One of the most recognized people on the planet. And people said to him, to his parents, he should probably just end his life. You know, he's probably going to have issues. You see what I'm saying? Guys, it's your life, it's your story. If you don't like your life, change your story. Change it today. That's the cool thing. You can have the worst, darkest story and enter a new paragraph that says, then the light broke through. And then the whole story changes. I was with somebody the other day, and they kept saying, my daughter struggles with this, my daughter struggles with this, my daughter struggles with this. And finally I interrupted her and I said, excuse me, please from now on say, up until today, my daughter used to struggle with this. My daughter struggled with this. Up until today. You see how powerful that is? Up until today, I haven't known how to make money. Up until today, I have been unhealthy. Up until today, I haven't found good people to work with. Insert up until today. Why? Because God did. Okay? God gave you a new day. So use it. All right? Does this make sense? All right. I started investing in myself. Look, if someone would have told me back when I struggled with all those things, hey, I really think you should invest $500 and go to a conference, or $5,000 and do this, I would have said, what are you, crazy? Why? Would anyone put a new kitchen in a beat-down, rickety trailer home? Would anyone put a $50,000 kitchen in a beat-down, rickety, old mobile home that has all the glass blown out? Anybody? No. Why would you not do that? Resale. Exactly, right? We would say that's an unwise, depreciating investment. That's why most people don't invest in personal growth. Most people would rather take a trip somewhere and have distractions for a week and then go back to the same life that they don't enjoy rather than doing the internal work. Is this true? Is this true? David, how many times when we first started out did we see people who said, I can't afford this, and then we would see them in Cancun on the beach the next week, and then we would see them 2 months later, and they're posting the same depressing stuff about how their life is stuck. Is this true? Do we see that, David, or am I making that up?
No, it's very true.
Okay? I started investing in myself. I literally said, you know what, Kary, you're not where you need to be. And you know what? It probably started out with an audiobook. You know, I probably thought, maybe I'm worth $9.99. There you go, audiobook reader here. I probably said, maybe I'm worth $9.99. $9.99. And guess what? I read that audiobook and I applied some principles. And then it became this insatiable desire, because I'll share with you in a moment that as you add value to yourself, you become more valuable. You like that? As you add value to yourself, you become more valuable. Do you think anyone here today has learned something that they can go back and teach somebody else today? Anybody?
Yes.
Okay? All right, thank you. You three, good.
Sunday.
You see what I'm saying? I know some of you made sacrifices to be here. I know some of you drove 7 hours. I know some of you left a room of comfort that you've been locked in, metaphorically speaking, for years to be here today. And I'm proud of you. And because of that, you have more value to give. Does that make sense? By the way, the average person, check this out. This is true. The average person commutes enough that after 3 years, if they spent that time listening to audiobooks while commuting, they would earn a PhD in the subject matter of choice. Do you catch that?
Yes.
I know a bread truck delivery guy from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, my own hometown, who's now making 7 figures because he said, instead of listening to sports radio while I'm delivering bread at 2 a.m. to stores, I'm going to start feeding my brain with personal growth and success. You know who I'm talking about?
I do.
Yeah, you do. All right, we won't say his name. But this is legit. This is real. And now today, he's international consultant. Because he said, I'm going to stop thinking that delivery truck bread guy is all I'm there for. I'm not against delivery truck bread guy. We love these people. But he said, I was meant for more. Yeah.
I downloaded about 3 hours worth of your hour-and-a-half videos from YouTube.
Sweet.
And I was playing them on the trip here. I have some more to play yet.
Okay, fantastic. And some people would say, you're nuts. Why would you ever do that? I mean, the guy's a crazy man. But listen, thank you. And 80% of what David and I create is free. Did you catch that? If you're not attracting clients, maybe you haven't found enough ways to give stuff away free. Because the 20% we do charge is off the charts. Amazing. Okay? But thank you. I'm glad to hear that. And we get that all the time. We get people who say, I mean, just yesterday, I have 9 kids. I'm single. I have $25. And I'm like, great, here's my YouTube channel. Okay? I get it. She's not at a place where she can join a program. That's fine. But hopefully she'll start applying those things, and then life change can happen. Physically, I didn't care about my body. I was just like, a few years ago, I'm in my 30s. I mean, blah, 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 whatever. Listen, I started saying, you know what? If I don't introduce acute pain into my body every day or several times a week, how can I expect to be uncomfortable in the business world? Does this make sense? I've gotten comfortable with being uncomfortable. If you want to have success, start becoming comfortable with what's uncomfortable, because growth is uncomfortable. You won't see that on Oprah, okay? But is this true? Is this true? That the people who are comfortable with uncomfortability have a much higher tolerance for success because growth requires success and success requires growth. Financially, personal growth. I started investing in myself financially. David and I were talking this week, and we coach people, and we said that if people have never invested $5,000 in themselves, why do they think they can sell a program for $5,000? Ouch. Did you hear that? If you will not invest $50 in your personal growth, why do you think you can go and tell somebody and look them in the eye and say, you need to invest in yourself? Ouch. What you're really doing is, you don't realize it, but your thermostat's really low. And you're trying to compensate, and they can feel it. Why? Because your confidence. If you would have invested in yourself, I mean, you guys can go today to someone and confidently say a seminar to them because you invested the time today. They'll feel it in your energy rather than, oh, he just read a book. No, you showed up, filled up, live or virtually. All right. You attract who you are. You attract who you are. If you're attracting unsuccessful people, don't beat yourself up, but say, you know what? Maybe I need to look in the mirror. Why am I attracting people who are constant complainers? You know what? Complainers don't want to hang with me. I'm just being real. Now, do I struggle with complaining? Sure, like everybody else I do. But that's the beauty of being an introvert. You only think about it. Did you catch that? See, if you're an introvert and you're a complainer, you just think about it. You don't say it. You're just like, oh, what? I'm just kidding. Little joke there for the introverts. Here's what I said. This is a great exercise, folks. If you want a great exercise, you can do this today. You write down, who do I need to become to attract the people I want to work with? Who do I need to become in order to attract the people I want to work with? And you might say, you know what? I need to be punctual. I need to be patient. I need to be generous. I need to be a victor. Whatever you start writing down, that becomes your marching orders. And you might say, you know what? I am not patient. By the way, I'm not patient. And that I struggle with that, you know? Invest in yourself before you ask others to invest in you. Guys, I'm just telling you, there's like this golden unsaid rule out there that says that, and here's the other benefit. Some of you have invested in yourself. So go ask other people to invest in you. Did you catch that? Some of you have not done that. Some of you said, you know what, I've invested in Kary's and David's programs, but I haven't asked other people to invest. Why not? You have every right to. As long as you're working out the system and you're applying the principles and you're adding value to yourself, you have every right to. All right, here's a story. I asked Mark if I could tell the story. Guys, I'm being real. I've never told this story before either today. So you're getting the fresh, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just summer. Maybe I just feel like I need to, you know, be more vulnerable. But this is another story that is personal, okay? So, when I left the pastorate in 2013, you know, we began to have some success, and it was small success. And one day I walk into a Chase bank, and the guy, I saw Chase private client, but I'm like, what does that even mean, you know? So the guy says, hey, have you thought about becoming a Chase private client? And I'm like, well, how much is it? You know, because again, back then I was like, everything has a cost, you know, everyone's out to get you. I'm just telling you guys, I've grown a lot, okay? So I says, well, how much is it? He's like, it's free. And I'm like, it's free? Well, what do you get? And he starts like laying out all the benefits. And I'm like, well, that's amazing. You know, I mean, you get, you know, no fees, you get, you know, your own personal banker, you get these special cards with points. And I'm like, well, that sounds awesome, you know? Can I be one? And he's like, well, let's look at your account. He's like, no. No, you cannot be a Chase private client. I'm like, why did you ask me then? He's like, well, it looks like you are on a trajectory to become a Chase private client, but you can't be one yet because you don't have enough assets. And I'm like, again, the old Kary was, hey, turn back the Apple Watch because I'm not worth it. Now I'm ticked off. You see, now he's got me a little bit. Now I've grown, and now I'm like, well, by golly, I want to be a Chase private client, you know? I get it. It's foolish. It's silly. But guess what? The next time, 6 months later, I come in. They say again, hey, have you thought about being a Chase private client? And I went through the whole thing. And they're like, you're not ready yet. And I'm like, come on. You know, so this happened like for 2 years, right? Finally, I'm just like, I don't even care about being a Chase private client anymore, you know? But it's this thing that kind of like wore at me. So then I go in, I don't know, a little while ago, and his wife, Mark's wife, come on up here, Mark. Come on up here. Come on, Mark. Yeah, Mark. By the way, I don't get any cuts from Chase or anything today. They're not the sponsor or anything. Good to see you. But your wife is Shelly.
Yes.
And so Shelly sits with me and she says, it is time. You are ready. You know, or something like that. Whatever. I don't know. Something like that. But guess what happens? What happens is, at the end of our chat, she hires me. Now I'm gonna tell that story here in a moment. But you have a photography business,
right.
Mark and Shelly Photography, and as I'm there, not even worried about becoming a Chase private client, I'm just showing up, filled up. She turns to me and says, "What? Like you need our services, or something like that?"
Right.
And immediately, you know, now you're coming to the conference. You booked an Igniter session where, you know, for 4 hours I basically helped you map out your business.
Highly recommend it.
And you found success. I saw you today posting in social media your daily photo. Have you seen an uptick in engagement, interaction?
Absolutely. I mean, walking into an event, I was at a meeting last week, a networking meeting, never been there before, and several people knew me by my photography.
Awesome.
So, and in fact, this Friday I'm meeting with a couple that is booking us for a 10-hour wedding gig.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, it's working.
Awesome. Good to have you.
Good to
All
see
right,
you.
thanks. Cool. Very cool. So listen, I share that because it's a silly illustration, but it mattered to me. You get what I'm saying? It mattered to me because it showed my growth. It showed my growth. It said, Kary, you know, you don't qualify, you don't pertain, you can't be in. And then David and I just got really serious about serving people. And over the years, boom, that opportunity has opened up. And folks, I'm telling you, everybody who serves you, you need to serve them back. Let me say that again. Everybody who serves you, the airport person, the Kroger cashier, the mailman or mailwoman. Guys, everybody who serves you, you need to serve back. You know why? Why? Anybody? Why?
Give back, give out to give back.
Give out to give back?
Yeah, also sowing and reaping.
Sowing and reaping?
All people are valuable.
All people are valuable. If you walk around with that mindset, you will have too much business. You will have too much business. If you walk around and you are a giver, look, there is no reason why I sat down with Shelly and thought at the end of this hour, she's going to come to our conference and hire me for a session. I didn't even say anything. She just said, tell me what you do. And what did I do? I shared my passion. It just came out. Guys, if you share, Becky is passionate about audiobooks. Everywhere she goes, she's talking about. Jeff is passionate about funnels, right? Renee's passionate about comparison. Susan's passionate about health. I mean, I could go to every single, Rick's passionate about pitching your business, okay? You know, I could go to every single person. Dow, tell me your genre of book. Is it young, middle, reading?
It's relationship training.
Relationship training.
Yeah.
Let it show. Let it show. And here's what happens. I changed the way I saw my time. Guys, you got to know your hourly rate. if you don't know your hourly rate, what's going to happen is you'll watch 8 hours of Netflix and say, oh, that was good binge series, until you realize, oh my gosh, my hourly rate is $150. David, I know zero about math. 8 times 150, somebody? What is it? It's lots of money. So suddenly you're like, was Stranger Things worth $1,200? You see what I'm saying? I'm not telling you that every second you need to be productive. I am not saying that. But what I'm saying is, until you know your hourly rate, you don't know if something is worth your time. You honestly don't. Years ago, David got lawn care because he was losing money to do his own lawn. Do you guys see what this is like? But some of us grew up, me included, where it's like, letting someone do something? Are you kidding? What are you, lazy? You see how some of us grew up like that? No, I should sit on my lawn for 4 hours when I can pay someone $80 and I can be doing a webinar that makes $20,000. No, please put me on the lawn. You see what I'm saying? But we struggle with this because we got the voices of our dad or our mom or our people inside of us saying, you're lazy. Is this being real today? Are you guys catching this? Is this helping? Yeah, question.
Can I share a personal experience?
Yes.
With that? I came out of the hospice industry.
Yes.
And a great networker, community liaison person, well loved in it, but I bowed out of it.
Right.
But I was toying around becoming my own consultant.
Yep.
To the home health care businesses out there. Most
Right.
of them cannot hire marketers
Okay.
to do it. And I almost got hired. We could not determine my hourly rate.
You could not
With
determine your hourly
two
rate.
different companies, we could not determine.
Yep.
So I abandoned that
Yeah.
totally.
I hear you. Why do we struggle with doing this? When people don't pay us our price, we say they're not paying me what I'm worth, but we won't name our price. Isn't that weird? Why do we struggle naming our price? Well, check it out. Determine your hourly rate, and then by leveraging the law of compensation, I'm going to talk about that. I raised it. So does everyone want to double their rates today? Does everyone want to do that? Would that help?
Yes.
Seriously, that would help? Okay, here we go. Here's how to do it. This is called the law of compensation. I got a whole seminar on this. Don't have time today, but I'm just going to hit the high points. You will be paid not for flipping fries at McDonald's. You will not get a big compensation. Why? Because I'll show you. Is there a need for flipping fries? Anybody? Is there a need in the world for flipping fries? Do you need to have ability? You do. Dogs cannot flip fries. Okay? What is the irreplaceability of flipping fries? In other words, they can just get the next person. They can just get the next person, right? There was a need, there was an ability, but you're replaceable. So therefore, the law of compensation is extremely low. If you want to raise your rate, you need to understand that I need to raise people's awareness of their need. You guys have that. You guys have that privilege. It's your job to raise people's awareness of their need. Susan does this all the time with her Facebook, right? Rick does this. Rick, when you go speak at a class down at Ohio State, you're raising the level of their awareness that they even have a need to pitch, right? Then Rick comes in and says, hey, here's my ability to meet that need. Here's my book. Here's my 7-step process. And people are like, oh my gosh, I can't get that anywhere else. Now they beat down your door to get it. You see what I'm saying? This is the same thing with Taylor Swift tickets. This is the same thing with gumballs. This is the way the world works. Need, ability, and irreplaceability. Which one can you control directly? What's that? Ability. It is your job to get better. It is your job to get better. Unless you know the mafia and you're going to take people out with irreplaceability, all right? A little joke there, but let's keep rolling. As I add value to myself, I become more valuable. I already shared that. As I add value to myself, I become more valuable. Here's a guy, Jim Akers. I took this from Facebook. I didn't tell him to write this. He says, one of my favorite things Kary says is show up, filled up. I just received a note with a check from a coaching client. He wrote, I feel like you didn't charge me enough. I got so much value out of our session. The enclosed check is for what I thought was fair. Fair nearly tripled my fee. Showing up with our best and a heart to serve is always a good thing. You like that? Jim is one of our authors. Jim's come to the Igniting Souls Conference. Jim is continually investing in himself. And here he does, turns it around, and someone says, here's triple your rate. I know you didn't ask. Show up, filled up. You have in every situation to show up, filled up. Every situation, show up, filled up. That means that your junk is taken care of. That means you're not focused on yourself. That means you're not leading with your need. This is why you can pick up clients anywhere, because you show up, filled up. I say it like this. Seek to be valuable, not visible. Guys, that's so different than today's social media. If you seek to be visible, it's because there's a deficit in you. It's because you don't feel like you're getting enough attention, and your clients will feel that. If you seek to be valuable, you will become visible. Does that make sense? Awesome. All right, number 3, I changed the way I saw other people. I changed the way I saw other people. Jesus says, love your neighbor as yourself. I think it's pretty smart. All right? I think it's pretty smart. Love your neighbor as yourself. That's what I began to do. As I began to love myself in the best sense of the word, the true sense of the word, guess what? My love for people grew. When I hated myself, I kind of hated people. Okay? So self-love in the true sense of the word, not some woo-woo thing, but in the true sense of the word, if you don't believe in you, why should other people believe in you? Right? Some of you don't believe in you. I began to believe and trust in myself, and here's why. I closed my gaps. I said, wow, Kary, you got a major gap here. You better close that thing. Boom. Wow, you got another gap. You better close that thing. I mean, life is perpetually closing those gaps. That's why our conference is called Close the Gap. Because we know that we want you to earn more influence, impact, and income. And you're only going to do that by closing your gap. I tell people, without loving people, there is no leading people. You have no business leading people if you don't love them. Don't ask for a bigger tribe if you don't get a bigger heart. Can you write that down, Renee? Don't ask for a bigger tribe. I forget what I said. But anyway, write it down. All right, thank you. Here we go. Before I can add values to others, I must value others. Did you catch that? And this is John Maxwell, before I add value to others, I must value people. If you think your clients are stupid and dumb and ignorant and you're going to swindle them, guess what? They're not going to go with you long, because they can feel it. They can feel that you don't value them. Okay? Selling is serving. You want to get more sales, you better serve. You want to get more marketing, you better story tell. How many stories did I tell today? I don't even know. A bunch of them. Okay? Don't market, don't sell, serve, and story tell. Okay? So listen, I'm going to take you guys on a quick journey, really quick, to Igniting Souls Conference. Why am I passionate about this topic? Because today was an event. If you guys literally come and say, hey, that was awesome, or that stunk, I'm out of here, no more transformation happens. That's like you going to the gym and saying, I worked out this year. You know, I did my 2018 workout. How's that working for you? No change, because it became an event. The Igniting Souls is a process. Why? Because you get lifetime access to the tribe, because it's at the Hilton Polaris right down the road, because we have a dream team of experts like Dan Miller. Dan Miller is fantastic. He is going to teach you his formula for establishing yourself as a true industry expert that attract. This guy is in his 70s. Do you guys get this? I don't want to hear anything. I mean, the only one who can say anything is Pete. All right? But Pete's crushing it. I know vibrant 72-year-olds, 84-year-olds. Just yesterday, Jonathan Milligan posted that a 76-year-old has built her Facebook following to 144,000 followers. Guys, there is no age limit anymore, okay? So Dan is crushing it. He's going to teach you all about how to attract the right clients. The guy has been in the business for longer than some of us have been alive, all right? He knows his content. Rachel Peterson, guys, if you are messing up on social media, it's costing you. It is. If you do not know how to leverage social media the right way, it is costing you in your business. Rachel Peterson, David's met her. She's been all over the place. Single mom was, struggled with substance abuse. Today, wonderful husband. She's helping other females create their own social media businesses. She's been featured on the Today Show, the Daily Mail. Guys, she knows social media. She's a crazy extrovert, okay? You're going to love it. But she's going to teach you how to increase online traffic, advance your cause, and propel your profits. Just one person is worth the price of admission. Seriously. Jeff Brown. How many people know that if they were on a podcast, they could get more traffic and exposure? Anybody? Rick, have you ever been on a podcast as a guest?
It's lots of fun.
Has anybody else been on a podcast? You've been on one? You've been on one? You've been on one? Did it help? Can you leverage it? Absolutely, right? Jeff Brown is going to teach you how to get on other people's podcasts or scale your own, okay? Brad Burke. If you saw that, Renee, that screenshot I took? Our YouTube channel stunk. It did. I looked at it in 2017 and said, dude, your podcast stinks, your YouTube channel stinks, you're infrequent, what are you even doing? I mean, this is the talk I had with myself. And I'm like, kill it or make it better. This is the, right, David, did I say this? I mean, I'm a truth teller myself. I said I hate the podcast because it takes 2 hours and I got to sit in my office and I got to have a microphone. And finally, I'm like, forget it. I'm just going to do it while I'm driving. Okay, now I know some people are haters and no, you guys care about my safety. I thank you very much. But I did buy a safety mount, okay? But here's the point. We've had the Daily Show. Thank you for being concerned about my safety, seriously. I do love you guys. And that's important. And I did start shooting them not driving, okay? Some of them, so I listen to you. See, I'm teachable. But the point is this. Brad showed us how to crush our YouTube channel. Now, do we have a lot of work to go? Absolutely. The point is this, guys. Everybody who I want to help me in my business and David's business are the people we're bringing to you. And Brad's not going to sell you a course. And Rachel's not going to sell you something from the stage. We told her not to. And Dan's not going to sell. This is you guys getting what you need. Does this make sense? If you come to the conference and do not get 10x the value, by Saturday at 5, you come to us and we write you a check for a full refund and say, hey, hope you enjoyed your meals, your tables, and had fun. And I know I'm talking to the choir. How many of you are already coming? A lot of you are already coming? All right, about half the room. So you're already coming. I'm just excited. Okay, I'm excited. Dexter, how many of you have ever heard Dexter Godfrey? Listen, you will do public speaking in your life. You're either going to crush it or you're going to be crushed. Dexter's going to show you how, when you are on stage, how to influence the crowd to your own personality. I'm never going to be Dexter. The guy's a genius at speaking, okay? But I can be me, and I can do it well. All right, David is going to show you how to scale your business. Look, I just talked to somebody last night who said, I'm a grandmother of soon-to-be 20. Catch that. I want to go travel and see these grandbabies and still make money on the business and be able to uproot and go see this family for 4 weeks and go see this family for 3 weeks. She's entering a program with David and I so she can do that, so she can make it a scalable business. David's going to teach you tons of tips, tricks, and tools. And then Dean Folks is he's the pastor here, he's going to share with you, look, to whom much is given, much is required. And once you start scaling financially, what are you going to do for the world? It's not just to go to the beach. go to the beach, get nice cars, do whatever. But it's also to solve problems that the world needs. Health, water, human trafficking. And Dean's going to share with us how to be a global citizen. And there's no pitch at the end, but he's going to share with us how can we have that mindset to be givers to push back the kingdom of darkness. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Guys, what we're doing today is we're giving you a special flash bonus. We know sometimes people need a kick in the butt. So all of you who already bought the ticket, you're going to get this bonus free. Okay? Cool? So again, anytime we give a bonus, I'm kind of like, well, gee, all these other people already bought it, so now we got to give it to them. Okay, so here's the point. Here's today's bonus. Today's bonus is a special teaching. It's normally for sale. It's a private teaching called Success Fast Tracking, all about success. 5 steps for achieving your goals now. So for the next, how long, David? Tomorrow night at midnight Pacific, it ends forever. So if you get your ticket, I got a few handouts. Eric, Renee, can you grab those? Thanks so much. If you say, you know what, Kary, I at least want to look at it, just raise your hand. I think I got 4. Okay? So I think I got like 4 handouts because I was behind today, all right? And I was leaving the door as they were printing. The rest are on the printer, okay? So I don't know. I think I got 4 or 5. But we'd love for you to come. We'd love for you to show up, filled up, and experience the conference. We do have something called VIP tickets. VIP tickets include a bunch of extra bonuses. It includes the opening night party with the conference speakers, so you can actually corner them one-on-one and ask them strategy and tips and tools. VIP seating, Spark Day with David. You're going to get a special 6 hours about how do you make your business work called a Spark Day. That's in the VIP ticket. You get lunch that day. You get the awards dinner. It's legit food, man. And then the lounge, and then a professional headshot. Guys, the VIP ticket alone is worth a professional headshot, plus you get all these other meals and this type of thing. So again, check that out. Eric, if you can post it below. I'd love to have people in Facebook post if they are coming. That would be awesome. But other than that, folks, I got 5 minutes where I'm going to take Q&A. Our group, by the way, outgrew, so we're now at a bigger location. There's the flash bonus. There it is. And of course, ignitingsoulsconference.com. You guys can fill that out today here in the room, and we'll take care of that for you today. Questions, guys? Questions about sabotaging your success? I don't want anyone to leave still having questions. Who's got a question? If you don't ask me questions, I might ask you questions. Okay? Dow, what do you got?
So, and you talked about this on your daily show and other things.
You mind coming up?
Nope.
All right, sweet. Let's give Dow a hand. Yeah. The price is right. Come on down. All right, cool. Yes.
So you've talked on your daily show and other places about how we go through moments of this. So I may not live in self-sabotaging, but I have these moments where I kind of start to get in my own way.
Yep.
What do you turn to in those moments to go, okay, I got to fire back up. I've got to, I'm
Absolutely.
I did this yesterday. I killed it all morning.
Yep.
Stopped for lunch. Could not reignite.
Yep.
Just could not
Yep.
reignite. So how do you restart?
Love it. Here's what I do. I'm really much into film. Okay? So YouTube, when I'm not feeling it, it's because I don't have anything left to give inside. All right? Is that fair? When you guys feel like you're not on fire, it's because you can't light your own flame. You have given all you can. So now you go from creation to consumption. Okay? So listen, if you just go create, which is what I tend to do, I retreat and I go into consumption mode. Okay? So what I do personally is a 2-hour bike ride where I have an audio book and I'm just feeding my soul with either never music, not that I'll share music in a moment, but it's either, scripture or an audio book, and it's going to inspire me, okay? When I feel like I'm around the house, there's times where I can't process anymore in my brain. I mean, you know, you guys feel like that? Where you're just like, I don't even want an audiobook. I put on music at that point that's going to just fire me up. I type in YouTube. By the way, I use YouTube Red. It's worth it. It's like $9.99. It shuts off all the commercials. Why do you want 3 minutes of inspiration with 2 minutes of commercials with I mean, it's crazy. Pay the $9.99, get a coaching client, you know, and then pay for it. But YouTube Red, epic soundtracks. If you also type in there motivational videos, okay? I don't buy, you know, this isn't like to go buy this type of stuff. There are epic movies that people have streamed together with Les Brown's voice, and you can be the most depressed, I got nothing in me, and suddenly you're like, oh my gosh, boom, here I am. Okay? So those are the things. I stay away from caffeine, so no sugar rush, no carb crash, no caffeine fix. Why? You're just playing the game. You're just, you know, riding the wave. Okay? So what I do is, and then I also exercise. God put in your body endorphins and all these other neurochemicals. If you're not feeling the push, the drive, and even just change your environment. If it's in the afternoon and you can't work out and you don't want to grab a 5-hour, I don't do any of that stuff, okay? But I might go walk. I might say, you know what? I'm just going to go outside and just walk around the block. Cool?
Awesome.
Awesome. Good stuff. All right. Cool. Anybody else? Got 3 minutes left. Yeah, Becky.
I don't have a question, but I have an announcement.
Okay.
I am an audiobook narrator, and June is audiobook month.
Uh-huh.
And so if you all, I know all of you who are authors at some point want to have your audiobook have an impact on some people's lives, like Kary is being impacted by audiobooks. So to help you, to serve this community, I've started a blog called hearingisbelieving.us. That's hearingisbelieving.us. That will give you tips on why audiobooks,
sure,
how to produce them, who to work with, and where to distribute them, as well as suggestions on marketing and down the road, you know, tips on recording,
sure,
and so forth and so on. So if anybody is interested, you're welcome to give me your card. I'll get you signed up, or I'll give you my card so that you have the website. Anybody who signs up this month will get a free little ebook from me with just the basics, which I know, you know, you probably are getting in AAE from Kary and David, but it'll help give you a reference to refer to, just to fall back on.
What's the website, Becky?
Hearingisbelieving.us.
Right, US, that's where it is. Okay.
Awesome. Any other questions? Questions? Yeah. Do you have one?
Yes. I'm trying to formulate mine, and maybe you have the answer, maybe you don't. I'm probably a social media situation I need to switch over. I've been bowing out.
Yeah.
Like, last several years I became very politically oriented in my postings.
Sure.
It's one of my backgrounds, one of my heartbeats.
Yeah.
And I'm realizing I need to bow out of that and switch my image, because it's only part of me, it's not really who I am.
Yep.
And I don't want to alienate people,
Sure.
but I believe in freedom of speech too, so
right,
I've been really toying. So what would you suggest?
Yeah, so the question
so far
was,
it's just Facebook.
Yeah, so the question was, if she has kind of developed her brand to be something that is part of who she is, but it's not all of who she is, how does she make the switch? So listen, that'll be our last question today, and then we'll wrap it up. But there's a couple options. One is you can shift your focus from your personal page to your fan page or vice versa, okay? So you could say, you know what, from now on, I don't have a fan page, but I'm gonna create a fan page. Now you won't get as many views on fan pages as that type of thing, but groups are very hot on Facebook right now. So groups are very hot, and that's where the community is built. So you might actually consider building your own Facebook group around what your future offer is for your business. David talks a lot about this in Business Academy Elite. It's called the fire starter formula. Get people used to a spark, move them to a flame, and then move them to a blaze. It's called the fire starter formula. So there's some wisdom in that as well. But we'll talk offline a little bit more because our time's up. But guys, I just want to say thank you for coming. And listen, love to see you at the conference. Share this with somebody if they need to see it. I mean, if you know someone who's struggling with self-image, depression, whatever, or they just know they could be better, they're not getting the success that they need, please share it, tag them. Thanks for coming. Next one is on July 11th. July 11th is the D-Day. What does that mean? That means it's the day that Super Early Bird ends, and we basically give Hilton our firm numbers, okay? So what I'm saying is, look, if you know you want to come, sign up today, get that flash bonus, because like the past few years, we probably will sell out, all right? Thanks so much for coming, guys. See you next month. Take care. Awesome.